Burley Sew.
Hello everybody and welcome to Burley Sew. I'm your host Purified. Today we're going to pick back up on our text embroidering series. But first I want to start showing you guys some fails that I do. Everybody makes mistakes. Been getting a lot of questions on how to recover. But there's a small one right there. And this is a practice piece of fabric, so I'm not concerned about it. In other episodes we'll learn how to recover from those. But I just wanted to show the mistake. Uh-oh. And I even said, uh-oh, you can see the thread drop there. And I even got the check upper thread message. And I just kept going. Big mistake. You see something like that happen, you can assume it fell out of the take-up. And that's what you end up with. So if you care about what you're working on, stop, rethread everything, check it out. So that's the fail of the week. And on to our video, which is embroidering text vertically. So we're going to take a few characters and we're going to learn how to position them. This is the first part of two I think I'll do on vertical. I've got another one that will be coming up in a couple weeks. But take a look right here. These zeros right here, and that is your carriage position. So I'm going to move this T up, and I just want to fit it on this piece of test fabric. No specific position. You can adjust where the needle will start with that button that I just hit right there. I am going to start in the center. So these three letters that I'm going to do are going to be right down the center, easy to position. All you have to do is be mindful of how you hoop your material, and we'll show that more as we get into detail in this series. But now I just checked my area, and I decided that I want to move it down some. And actually, it's a large letter. I'm going to go ahead and switch it to a medium letter. And when you do that, it goes home, so you have to move back up again. And you can see down the numbers. The vertical went up and down to 1.02, and it just did its frame check. And I think I want to go up to 1.06. And I'm just going to go ahead and sew it out. Not very particular. This is part of the practicing. And I mentioned that in the intro to this series, that you want to practice. You have to be able to maneuver the material the way you want, and you have to be familiar with the stitches and their sizes and how they line up. We're going to finish up our T here, and then you're going to see that when this letter's done, and we're going to program in the next letter, because we're going vertically. You can't, on this machine, you can't program in a vertical text word, at least that I'm aware of, unless you make it into an embroidery design. But you'll see there that it just went home. So as we select our next letter, which is going to be the I, we're going to have to move it back into position. Now you can try to freehand it, just for the practice. However, a lot of hoops have a grid that you can use to help position things. And the grid is just a piece of plastic. It'll help you guide where you're placing your letters or words, and you need to be aware of the spacing between whatever you're embroidering and trying to set up. So the guide that came with this one, it's not in US inches. It may be in metric. I haven't tried it in metric, but from the spacing you can at least get a visualization of where you need to put it. And if you just keep moving it and checking the perimeter, and like I said earlier, practice, you can use the guide to position your letters vertically. So I got that one roughly where I wanted, and like I said earlier, this is just the basic, this is the beginning video to this part. I'm going to do another one that's a lot more particular, and it's going to include the hooping of the material and spacing, but I want to get you started and I want to get you thinking about this and hopefully practicing it. Alright, so we're finishing up the I, and the next letter is going to be M, of course, and we're going to manipulate this one down. You can see I've got it at negative 0.43 if you look on the window, and you want to pay attention to the spacing of the letters, and that's where I aligned it to be mindful. Now you can see I'm pretty close to that I, and I do this with the foot in the downward position so that I can see where the eyelet is, where the needle is going to go through there, and see if I can see anything that's poking through, and it gives me a good idea. So I feel that that's right, and that the space between the T and the I and the M is going to be about equal. And because I did this on the center, it'll all be lined up right down the middle. And then we'll go ahead and embroider our M out, and basically that's how you do a vertical alignment when you're embroidering characters. Well folks, that's another Burley Sew. I hope you enjoyed the video. I've got more in the text series coming. They're going to keep ramping up in difficulty. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. I appreciate all your comments. Keep leaving them. I'm trying to get to everybody's requests and cover as much ground as I possibly can. I'm purified, and thanks for watching Burley Sew.